Okay, good morning, all. This is day 5. I'm starting not to even be able to figure out what day it actually is. I'm going by, like, this is week 1, day 5, instead of, hi, it's Thursday. And that's fine. When you ask your kid, hey, what day is, they're like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, 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 like, literally, what day is it? Are we, like, where in the week are we? Okay, so day 5, we've been practicing these 3 different breaths. And one is our anapana breathing. It's allowing it's the breath of life. Okay, it's this idea that um, everything changes and there's always movement. There's nothing ever stagnant. Um, Trees are always growing or dying, right? Mountains are constantly moving. They're being eroded or being built. And those are just in the extremes, right? Our own physical bodies are being nourished or they're not, right? We're either eating spinach or Oreo cookies, right? Or not eating at all, right? There's this idea that, especially, and yoga is the perfect place to find that when we enter into an asana and we recognize that the asana will never not end. It will always have an ending. I'm never gonna be inside of triangle and triangle will never end, right? It does have an ending, and we all say thank you, baby Jesus, it's done, and we can move on to the next one. Hopefully I'm in a mind space to where I really can move on to the next one without having to, like, stop down, say a couple curse words, and be like, okay, now I'm ready to go again. um Now, with all that, you go, okay, Kate, how are you learning all these life lessons, all this big heady things from taking breath in and out of your body? Well, you don't just the actual motions of taking it in and out of your body. You need a teacher, just like I need a teacher. Um, just like your teacher needs a teacher. Um, the best teachers that I know are students, and that's pretty much across the board, right? And I keep thinking about an artist friend of mine that his dog just passed, and he's been part of my life. Bird Williams, for I mean, since he taught me photography back in college, that I don't suck at, that I was pretty good, and we spent some good times together, shot a lot of roles together, developed a lot. Anybody you spend time in the dark room with, it's kind of its own language, and you don't have to talk a whole lot, and it becomes about the art. Anyway, it's just its own thing. And his dog passed, and I mean, like, that dog was his wife, and it's sad. And I'm grieving the loss of this dog. And I notice in these moments, this teacher of mine, he never stopped doing the work. He never stopped becoming the student. He taught a lot of classes. He taught a lot of people. I mean, he is the person that I can quote 100%. He told me one day that every photograph is a lie. And I have taken that for 20 some odd years into the core of my being, to be able to look at a photograph and go, I don't know what the circumstances are around this photograph, so therefore, how can I say whether it is real or if it is fake? right? Like, and I'm not saying that they're all lies. I'm just saying like there's another potential out there, right? The truth is always somewhere in the middle. And I that has take like that is a teacher that taught me, and he is still a student to this day. He is still creating art. So I talk about that, and I bring that into this breathing practice this morning with an intention of who in your life is a teacher, and who in your life are you the teacher, right? Where is the circle happening in your life? Because it's important. I just recently told a friend, they're like, I really want to help my uncle. I really do. And I looked at her and I said, you can't help him. And it was, I mean, kind of a blow, right? Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, there's it's not time yet for you to be the teacher of what you want to teach this man, because it's just not, and you're not there with the work yourself in order. And it was an interesting thing for me to say. It almost felt hurtful at the time, but I knew that it was the truth, and I think she knew it was the truth. So, where are we the teacher, and where are we the student? And if you're trusting me enough to be watching these videos and or greeting me at 6 a.m. To have this 30 minutes together, I have this suspicion that I'm on your list of teachers. And the cool part is that I have learned to be your student, even if you don't realize it. Um, so I've already changed positions today. In my own story, I was given a big blow yesterday that I've got infection in the place that I had surgery, and lots and lots of antibiotics. They're not intravenous yet, thank goodness. I always know that that's what's about to come. But I keep thinking that I've caused all this myself, right? Like if I just paid attention 3 years ago and done exactly what the doctors had told me to do, maybe I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in today. And when that kind of thinking rules my life, I'm thinking I'm the teacher and the student. And that is that whole like anybody that hires themselves as an attorney is dumb or something like that. Guys, I butcher anything like that, but like that's the deal. Like a priest can't be his own priest, right? I can't give absolution to myself if I'm the priest. If you go for that kind of thing. All right, so comfy position, shoulders down and back. Try not to think too much about it. Close the eyes. I'm going to add something to our Anapana breathing today. We've been doing this a few days in a row, and maybe you've even noticed that you're maybe thinking about it during the day. Maybe you're not there yet at all. That's okay. No judgment, literally, no judgment. But I want us to think about when we're doing this breathing, not only this little area above the lip and below the nose. I want us to think about the tongue inside your mouth. Obviously, where else is your tongue located? But the tongue, and attempt to drop it down a little bit. And you might notice your lips might open a little bit. Mine don't really, but they might. And I just want you to kind of pull that sucker, not necessarily behind the lower teeth, but definitely down, that opens the passageway from the nose here down to about right here in the throat. So there's a little bit of an opening opportunity. So close the eyes, and as you take an inhale, maybe think about the tongue, dropping it down. It feels really awkward. And then exhale through the nose. And there's no real pattern. There's no counting. There's no definitive, this is exactly how it needs to go. I want you to feel the sensation. We're feeling. Maybe come back to thinking about the tongue dropping down at just a tiny smidge. As the mind starts to wander, which it will, and we start. Like my cat just came in and said hi. It's now sitting next to me, right? I pay attention to the cat for a little bit, and then I let the cat do what the cat needs to do, right? And I focus back on the breath. Are you kidding me? Lulu, stop. Good God. It is animal kingdom around here. So we breathe in and out. So a great deal of patience knowing that, they can't bark forever, right? Where did your mind go? Is it a place that you can pull it back from? Maybe give yourself a little bit of a towel where you lift your hands up and kind of rub the little palate beneath the nose, above the lip. Dropping the tongue down. And where did your mind go? Bring it back. Now, who is your teacher today? Whatever comes into your head, quickly imagine the person, the animal, mineral, rock, tree, whatever, in your mind's eye, and then go back to the breath, inhaling and exhaling. This next question, very simple, yes or no. Am I a student today? You just answer, right or wrong. It just is. You go back to the breath. Take 2 more of these breaths. Dropping the tongue down, long neck. Gently open your eyes. Roll the shoulders down and back. Take your hands behind you. Make sure my cat's not there. Take your hands behind you. Place them down. And I just want you to open the chest a little bit. This is more about your throat chakra opening up to the sky, a little less about the stretch. This is the color blue. It's light blue, like the color the sky is when the sun is out. It's communication. It is not only the communication between you and me. I'm going to go ahead and come back out. You can stay there. Not only the communication between you and I, it is the communication between our breath and how it fuels our body. That's a relationship. And someone the other day, I don't know what was happening. They're like, yeah, that mouth breather. And I just looked, and the first thing I thought of was like, dang, that's some judgment. And I was like, wow, that person's like, that's some hostility there, that mouth breather. Like for some reason, the person standing in front of them breathing through their mouth meant that they were a lesser being. And all we know is maybe that breath was the only thing, the only type of breath that at that point that human could muster. We don't know what was going on inside of that mouth breather's psyche. That might have been the only kind of breath that they could take. God, it almost makes me want to cry. All right. Gently on your back for the next one. Turn around. I want you to roll backwards. However you get to laying, I do want you to find your happy place. That's just what I call the most comfortable place on your back. Now we don't, as a society, lay down on our back on the floor very often. Like kind of one of my rules of thumb when I'm working with people is let's try to do 3 get back ups every day. Now, get back ups literally mean you get down on the floor and you get back up, and kind of everybody has their own take on it. They make these rules up in their head. They go, oh, she must mean like I'm not allowed to use my hands, or she must mean that I'm supposed to do this or that. And I'm like, that's not what I told you. That's not what you heard. I mean, that must be what you heard because that's not what I said. I said, get down on the ground and get back up. If you need to use a chair, if you need to use the wall, if you need to whatever, right? So first off, easy, your happy place is whatever it is for you. Mine is knees bent. It allows my hips to be more stable, and I take my hands to my chest. Sometimes it's up more by like my nipple area, sometimes it's more middle area, sometimes it's by my hips, and I typically it has to do with what color I'm dealing with during the day. Mine immediately went to yellow, which is my strength. I'm tired of being strong. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of retention breathing, and I'll count. And in our very happy place. I always want to make sure that the top of the head is not pressing into the ground. Deep, even hips. Your feet can help. Your shoulders can help. Your scapulas can help. But I don't want too much weight in the head. I'll take a deep inhale Anapana breathing. And exhale it back out. Your eyes are closed. Inhale. And exhale. And inhale. And on this one, once at the top, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 3, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold at the top. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take both hands behind your head, opening at the shoulders. Now fingertips can just brush the sides of the head. Elbows are open. Mine do not touch the ground. Yours might. You might be able to take your hands to your ears. I'm more at my temples right here. This is not overly stretching. I mean, my back of my arms are barely even touching the ground. Take an inhale. Drop the tongue down a little bit and exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And as you hold at the top, I want you to close your gate as much as you can. That's the muscles in between your hip bones. Close it, 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 and let it go as you exhale. Hold, close the gate. Holding the breath outside the body, close the gate as much as you can. Let it burn. Inhale, let the gate open. Hold, close the gate. Close it, close it. You're holding the breath. You're holding the breath. Burning sensation. Inhale. Full lungs, close the gate all the way deep down, deep down your heels. You might even find that they're pressing a little bit more. And exhale. Go back to regular breath. Inhale. And exhale. Leaving your hands right where they are. Take your thumbs, close down your ears. This is our little buzzing bee. And then you have your ring fingers right there. Close the ears down. Ring fingers, close the nostrils down. Take an inhale and exhale. Last one. Gently and slowly lower the arms back down to happy place, wherever they are. Back to your Anapana breathing, recognizing that nothing stays the same. You are not the same human that when you started. We have changed. Everything has changed. Once we start to tap into the changing moments being our teacher and the changing moments being our students, our ego then becomes right-sized. I am no longer a piece of shit, and I am also not the master of the universe. I'd like for everyone to gently roll to one side. Now, there's a lot of yogis out there that are very specific on you need to roll to the left side because your heart's on the left side, and it gives it an opportunity to roll down to that side. And then you've got other yogis that tell you to make sure to roll onto the right side because then that makes the heart be able to beat a little differently in the aorta and blah. I mean, there can be, people can find science on all kinds of stuff. You know what? Just roll onto one side. Let's dumb it down a little bit. That's my kind of yoga. Roll onto one side. Maybe get the shoulder a little bit more comfortable where you raise the shoulder up a smidge. I've got my hand underneath my head, giving it a little balance. I pulled my knees up a little bit. And then we'll go back to the Anapana breathing. You're noticing underneath the nose, above the lip. And do me a favor, pull the lowest of lower belly in, close the gate, maybe even give the yellow solar plexus a big old squeeze, making it hard and strong. Use your driver hand, which is going to be your top hand, and press yourself up to allow the left hand or your right hand, whatever the other arm is, and then come into crisscross applesauce. Our time here on the mat is not always fun. Our time here on the mat is not always where we sweat to death. Our time here on the mat is not always what our idea of what we think the mat should be. Our time on the mat is truth. It is my honor and my privilege to be with you here this morning. Let's take 3 beautiful breaths together.